Okay, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday's maths lesson. Just two more remote maths lessons to go. And I thought we'd start by warming up our mathematical brains this morning with an old favourite of one of our games. It's called ping pong. Now, year two, please join in, because otherwise I'm going to look really silly just sitting here pinging and ponging on my own. For those of you that cannot remember how to play ping pong, you need to do the following things. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to tap my knees because you won't be able to see me, so I'll do this. And I will say a number. What you need to do is this, and say the number that adds to mine to make 10 altogether. So, for example, if I went 5, you'd have to go 5, because 5 and 5 make 10. So we'll go through and we'll do a couple of those. The game ends when I say ping and you go pong. So we'll practice our number bonds to 10. Make sure you keep in with the rhythm. I'm not going to say the answers year two. That's down to you this morning. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 2, 9, 0, 1, 8, 10, 4, 5, 3, 2, 9, 10, 8, 2, 3, 6, ping. Hopefully you managed to keep up with that rhythm. It was quite a good pace I had on it then. You do need to know your number bonds to 10 today. They are going to come very in handy when we come to do our maths do it and twist it tasks today. So if you don't know your number bonds to 10, or you're finding that game tricky, I would suggest pausing the video and going away and having a practice at knowing your number bonds to 10. Maybe there's somebody else in your house you can play ping pong with, or you can write those facts down. Remember, there are 11 of them. So that you know your number bonds to 10. You're going to need to be able to spot those today in order to carry out your do it and twist it tasks. Okay, so if you don't know your number bonds to 10, make sure you go and practice right now. For now, though, I'm going to share my screen because I have already written a calculation that we are going to start our maths lesson with today. So hopefully you'll be able to see. There we go. You should be able to see a calculation on my screen right now. I don't want to know the answer. I've already worked out the answer. What I want you to think about is how you would work out this calculation. What would you start with? How would you do it? Would you do it on a number line, 100 square, fingers? So have a look at the numbers you've got here and see if you can work out how you would solve it. Now, I would imagine quite a few of you are thinking of starting with this number 9. And certainly when we were in year 1, that is exactly what we practiced. We practiced spotting the largest number and starting there. So I would imagine some of you have said you'd do 9, then add on 6, and then add on 4, so that those numbers are in order. But I am not going to do it that way today. I'm going to reorder my calculation, and I'm actually going to start with the 4. And I would do my calculation like that. It's the same numbers, they're just in a different order. See if you can work out why I have put the numbers in this particular order here. There is a reason. The reason links to our ping pong game, actually. The reason is this bit here. Because I already know that bit. I know what 4 and 6 makes, just like that. We practiced it just now. I know that 4 and 6 make 10. Well, if I know that 4 and 6 make 10, now all I need to do is add on that number 9. And again, I don't even need to use my fingers for this because I know from using place value knowledge what 10 and 9 make. 10 and 9, I know, make 19. I didn't have to do any counting on my fingers or calculating at all to do 6 add 9 add 4. If I can reorder it and get it in a sensible order with things that I know, then I can do my calculation without having to count on my fingers at all. There are lots of these calculations, and year 2, this is exactly what we are going to do today. We're going to practice adding 3 small numbers together, but we are not going to count on our fingers. We won't need to if we're smart about it. And to be smart about it, all we need to do is to spot the things that we already know. So if I had 4 add 3 add 7, have a careful look, because there are 2 numbers in there that I know I can add straight away. See if you can find them. I'm not going to start by putting 7 in my head and counting on 4. I'm going to start here with this 3 and this 7, because I know if I join those together, what I end up with is 10. I didn't need to do any calculating on my fingers. I didn't have to do any counting on because I know my number bonds to 10. See now where they're really important. So if you don't know them, go away and practice them now because you need to know your number bonds to 10 year 2. They're going to be really useful for the calculations we are doing today. 3 and 7 I know make 10. Well, I haven't quite finished. I've still got this number 4 bit. So I added my 3 and my 7 to make 10. I'm going to just drop this 4 down because now I've got 4 and 10. Again, I could count on my fingers, but I don't need to. I know if I've got a 10 and a 4, then I've got the number 14. What about this calculation? What about spot the bit to start with? Which 2 numbers do we add together first? And we can do it just like that. Hopefully you've spotted another number bond to 10. 8 and 2, well, they already make 10 together. So now all I need to do is add on that 3. If 8 and 2 make 10, 10 and 3, using my place value knowledge, I know that if I've got a 10 and a 3, there's my 1 10 and my 3 ones, I've got 13. Once you start spotting number bonds to 10 in sets of numbers, you can add them together really easily. You don't need your fingers at all. You can do it just in your head by using the things that you already know. If I know that 8 and 2 make 10, I know that 10 and 3 make 13. It doesn't have to just be number bonds to 10 though, because in this calculation, there aren't any. But I can still do something with those numbers to help make it easier. I'm not going to do 8, add on 4 fingers, add on 4 fingers. There are no number bonds to 10 here, but there are a pair of numbers that I can add together really quickly. I wonder if you know which ones they are. I know 4 and 4. Doubles is a really good thing to spot in calculations as well. What is 4 and 4? Double 4. Well, I know that double 4 makes 8. Oh, and now I've got another double. Now I've got this original 8 that was in my calculation, plus the 8 I've just made with my 4 and 4. So I did 4 and 4, that makes 8. Well, now if I know double 8, I know my answer. Doubles is also a really good thing to practice. On the assignment task, I have put a web web address link for you to go and play a game that helps you practice not only your number bonds to 10, but also your doubles. Doubles are where you add the same number to itself. So if you want more practice using your doubles before you do this maths lesson, excuse me, then I would suggest going onto that website and having a go at the hit the button game, where it asks you to double a number and you have to hit the button that has the correct answer. Doubles are also going to be really important in today's maths lessons. If you want to go away and practice those, do that now. If not, I'll carry on. I did double 4, 4 and 4, I know it's 8. I also know double 8. 8 and 8, I know, is 16. So without counting on my fingers at all, I was able to work out that whole calculation just by using the things that I already know in my head. And when we do mathematical calculations, it's always a really good idea to spot the easy bit. That will make it much, much easier for you to calculate in your head. Spot the easy bit is going to be the sort of the mantra, the mathematical mantra of our whole week. Spot the easy bit in the calculation and do that first. It makes working out your calculations and your sums much, much easier. So can you spot the easy bit in this calculation? Spot the easy bit. Which bits would you add together first? Personally, I'd go for that double. I know that 6 and 6, I know double 6 is 12, and then all I have to do is add on my 5. Double 6 is 12, 12 and 5, I then know is 17, and I did that using just the ones because I know that 2 and 5 is 7, 12 and 5 must be 17. So again, I used something I already knew to help me work out the calculation in front of me. We'll do another couple of those and then it will be your turn. Spot the easy bit, year 2. What am I going to add together first? Can you get there before me? I spotted 1 and 9. I know 1 and 9 already. I know that's a number bond to 10. If I've got a number bond to 10 in 1 and 9, what I've actually got is 10 and 8, and I can use my place value knowledge to work out that 10 and 8, 1 10 and 8 ones, gives me 18. What about spot the easy bit? It's a double and a number bond to 10. Actually, I know that double 5 gives me that 10. If I've got 5 and 5, I know I've got 10 already. Then I can use my place value 10 and that's 6. 1 10 and 6 gives me 16. Last one. Interesting one to finish off with. I wonder where you would start. There are 2 places you could start. You might have spotted that 7 and 3 is a number bond to 10. You'd be absolutely right. But I bet some of you spotted that 7 and 7 is a double. Now it's entirely up to you how you would start with this calculation. Personally, I think I would do 7 and 3. Because although they're not the largest numbers here, I can then just use my place value and I haven't got to count on in ones. Because I know that 10 and 7, 1 10 and 7 ones gives me the number 17. And I think I would find that slightly easier than doing 7 and 7 is 14. And then 14 and 3 is 17. You will still get to the same answer. And if you would have preferred to do 7 and 7, and then add on 3, you would still get to absolutely the right answer, and I would still accept that as a method for doing this calculation. My personal preference would be to make a 10 and then use place value, but that question was entirely up to you. Now, today, for your Do It, I have taken a photograph of a Year 2 textbook. Now, you've never used these before in Year 1, so I'll just show you how it works. This is the page I photographed. It's using bonds to 10 and doubles, exactly as we've just been doing. All you need to do is complete these additions, but I don't want to hear that you have counted on your fingers. That's not how we're going to solve these at all, because the focus is using your bonds to 10 and your doubles. So you need to spot what goes on in each calculation. I don't mind if you print it out and write on the sheet. I can't do that because I'm in a textbook, so I'm just going to write my calculations down. So if you are writing it down, I'm just going to copy down the title, bonds to 10 and doubles. Oh, I'm going to put my date underneath, as I've run out of space. 19.10.20 and a D in a circle. This is your do it task. I'm going to zoom in a bit actually. There we go, that's slightly better. So question number 1, I'm going to put a 1 and a dot, and I'm going to write that question down. It will become clear why I'm doing that in a minute. Because just like I did on my whiteboard, I'm actually going to circle the 2 numbers that I'm going to add together first. And I want you to do that, year 2. Circle the 2 numbers that you add together first. That will help me know that you're not just counting on your fingers. I can't see a number bond to 10 here, but I can see a double. So I'm going to circle those 2 numbers. Those are the 2 numbers that I would add together first. If you want to do what I did and join them together, 6 and 6 I know is 12, and make yourself a little mathematical note like that, then you can do. Oh, I've actually spotted, I've now got a number bond 12, and 8 is not a number bond to 10, but it is a number bond to 20. Okay, so you have to circle the 2 numbers that you add together first. That will help me know that you are actually doing these calculations in a sensible order, because I know you could all count on your fingers. That is not what we are practicing today. Practice spotting bonds to 10 and doubles and add those bits together first. For your twist it today, you will need a die. Your twist it goes like this. You're going to roll your die 3 times and create yourself a calculation. So I've got 1, add, 1, add, 6. And just like in your do it, spot the easy bits. Which bit would you do first there? Well, I know I would do 1 and 1, because I know 1 and 1 is 2, and I know 2 and 6 equals 8. Oh, I got another 1. So my next calculation, I've got 1, add 2, that's slightly more interesting, add 1. My dice seems to like the number 1. So 1 add 2 add 1, I'd add my 2 1s together first. That makes 2. Then I've got another double, 2 and 2 gives me 4. You may find that you never get a number bond to 10. You may find that you never get a number bond to 10 and you don't get a double either. You will need to have a think about what's the best way to solve that. If there are no number bonds to 10 and there are no doubles, think carefully about where you will start. Which number are you going to put in your head? Which pair of numbers are you going to add together to make your calculation the easiest it could possibly be to work out? Your Solve It task is on your assignment list today. So that is the end of my demonstration. Make sure you think carefully about which numbers you are adding together first. That's the most important bit for today's lesson. Make sure that you circle those numbers so I know which 2 numbers you have added together, and that helps me to know that you're not just counting on your fingers, because that is not what we are practicing today. Spot the easy bits, spot those number bonds to 10, spot those doubles, start with those. Good luck, year 2.